Chosen one. Listen carefully. Heaven has paused everything to reach you, right now. This is not coincidence. This is divine interruption. You are not here by chance. You are being summoned. The moment your eyes met these words, the heavens aligned to deliver a message with your name written on it. You have been running, searching, doubting, wondering if God still remembers you. But this very moment is proof that He has never forgotten you. You are the reason the atmosphere shifted. You are the reason this message exists. You, chosen one, have been marked by divine fire since before you were born. Every strange pull, every storm that didn't destroy you, every rejection that didn't end you, it was all shaping you for this exact second. Heaven has decided that enough is enough. The silence ends. The confusion ends. The cycle ends. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to disrupt darkness simply by standing in truth. The Spirit of God is hovering over you even now. You may not feel it, but the very air around you trembles with purpose. You've been sensing that something is about to change, something deep, beyond words. That is not anxiety. That is divine stirring. You are being awakened from spiritual sleep. The world around you has grown numb, distracted. But you, yes, you have been handpicked to rise in the hour when others fall. Listen, chosen one, you have been surviving battles that were meant to bury you. You have carried weights no one else could see. Nights when tears burned your eyes. Days when your heart whispered, "Why me?" Heaven recorded every moment. Your endurance has become the sound of faith in motion. Every scar on your spirit is evidence that the enemy failed. And now, heaven says, enough hiding. Step forward. You are about to understand why everything had to happen the way it did. The losses were not punishments. They were preparation. The isolation wasn't rejection. It was divine protection. While you thought you were forgotten, God was building you quietly in the background. You were not abandoned. You were being trained. Every delay was His mercy. Every closed door was redirection. Do not ignore this, because your life, yes. Your very destiny depends on what you do next. You have reached a divine intersection, obedience or delay, calling or comfort, purpose or pattern. This moment is holy ground. The Spirit is whispering, you have waited long enough. Rise. And as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, Psalm chapter 46, verse 10, be still and know that I am God. Those words are not a suggestion, they are a command for your breakthrough. Heaven is telling you to stop striving, stop worrying, and start trusting. The battle you've been fighting was never yours to win alone. Be still, chosen one. Let His power do what your strength cannot. You have been sensing a pull to return to prayer, to purpose, to purity. Do not ignore it. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to hear His voice. But right now, His voice cuts through the noise. This message is your confirmation. The time for hesitation is over. The time to act is now. God is calling you out of hiding, out of fear, out of waiting for perfect timing. There is no perfect timing. There is only divine obedience. You are standing on the threshold of your new season. Everything you've lost will make sense. Every delay will prove its purpose. Every unanswered prayer will soon echo with divine fulfillment. This message was not sent to your screen by an algorithm. It was divinely orchestrated. God saw your fatigue, your hidden tears, your silent prayers, and He interrupted your scrolling to reach you. That is how much He loves you. That is how deeply He cares. He has chosen this moment to awaken what has been dormant inside you. Beloved, lift your eyes. Heaven is calling your name. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not too broken. The same God who spoke stars into existence is now speaking life into you. Will you answer? Will you rise? If your spirit is trembling as you read this, it's because something holy is happening. You are standing at the doorway of transformation. Heaven has issued a call, and your response determines everything that follows. Don't walk away from this moment. Step into it. Now, if you feel this word burning inside you, do not let it pass silently. Tap the heart. Share this message so another chosen one may awaken. And subscribe to remain connected to the flow of anointing that heaven has prepared for this generation. And finally, if you know this message was meant for you, comment 77 below as a prophetic act of obedience. Let heaven see your yes. Chosen one. You have carried more than anyone knows. The world sees only your smile, your steady steps, your ability to keep moving. But heaven sees the weight on your soul. You've been through seasons where your spirit almost broke under the pressure. You've cried prayers that no one heard, whispered questions that echoed back in silence. Yet here you stand, still breathing, still believing, still holding on to something you cannot explain. You have wondered why your life has been marked by such heaviness, why others seem to move easily while you walk through storms, why you give and love and still end up alone. But the truth is, God trusted you with the kind of fire that can only be formed under pressure. You were chosen to carry what others could not. The pain you've endured has not been wasted. It has been refining you into a vessel that can hold divine glory. There were nights when you felt unseen, when even heaven seemed silent. You looked at others being blessed, promoted, celebrated, while your own path felt hidden in shadows. But that hiddenness was not rejection, it was protection. The weight you've carried was not punishment, it was training. Every tear that fell was watering the soil of your future harvest. Do you realize, chosen one, that what you call weakness, heaven calls endurance? Every moment you refused to give up became a testimony written in the spiritual realm. Angels took note of your perseverance. Demons trembled at your resilience, because you did not quit when everything inside you said, enough. You stayed. You endured. You believed when believing hurt, and that faith raw, quiet, unseen is what separates you from the rest. You are not like others because you have been entrusted with something sacred, the ability to hold divine fire without burning out. Most cannot carry that. They crumble under pressure. But you carry both the weight and the wonder. You've been misunderstood, misused, and even mocked. But you kept your heart pure. You refused to turn bitter. That is why heaven calls you chosen. Even now, the fire you carry is being fanned into flame. What once felt like suffering is about to turn into strength. Your past was not random. It was the proving ground of your purpose. You've walked through loneliness so you would learn how to depend on God alone. You've faced betrayal so you would recognize truth when it comes. You've experienced loss so you would never mistake temporary comfort for eternal calling. Every wound has a purpose. Every delay has meaning. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. The shaking around you was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to remove what could not stay. Listen closely. Chosen one. The enemy tried to convince you that the weight you carry was too heavy, that it would crush you. But heaven was using that same weight to build you. Just as a seed must be buried before it breaks forth, so were you buried in seasons of obscurity. But even in the dark, life was forming within you. You were never alone in the pressure. The hand of God was on you all along. There are moments when the fire feels unbearable, when the weight seems too much. But remember this, heaven does not invest so deeply in someone it plans to abandon. You are enduring because your spirit is being forged into something eternal. Every trial is bending you toward destiny. We are reminded through the writings of the prophet Isaiah in chapter 43, verse 2, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you." Those ancient words are more than comfort. They are covenant. They remind you that no matter how deep the water, you are not alone. The same presence that carried you through the last storm is already in the next one, guiding you, strengthening you, preparing you. Do not despise the weight. It is evidence that heaven trusts you. The greater the calling, the heavier the assignment. But there will come a moment when what once felt like burden will feel like wings. The same fire that once burned you will begin to shine through you. What was once pain will become power. What was once trial will become testimony. Hold on. Chosen one, heaven has not forgotten the quiet nights, the silent battles, the prayers whispered through tears. Every moment has been counted. Every breath, every struggle, every ounce of endurance has built the foundation for what is coming next. You have not been carrying this weight in vain. The God who called you to it will carry you through it. Chosen one. The mark upon your life is not a myth, it is real. Invisible to human eyes, but undeniable in the spirit. From the day you were conceived, something eternal was written over your name. You have felt it your whole life. That sense of difference, that inner knowing that you don't quite belong in the world system. You were never meant to. You were born under divine assignment, marked not for comfort, but for conquest. Even as a child, you felt the pull of purpose, the strange awareness that life was heavier for you than for others. People mistook your depth for weakness, your compassion for naivety, your silence for passivity. But heaven knew what it was doing. The mark you carry provokes both light and darkness. It attracts the broken and agitates the wicked. You were never called to fit in, you were sent to disrupt. You've often asked why people react to your presence with unease, or why you sense tension when you walk into certain rooms. It's because the spiritual realm recognizes you before people do. Darkness senses your anointing before you even speak. Your spirit carries a fragrance that angels salute and demons despise. That's why you've faced resistance where others walked freely. You carry a seal, a divine identification that heaven calls mine. Sometimes the mark feels heavy. It isolates you. You feel misunderstood, even by those you love. But that isolation is not punishment. It is separation for sanctification. God set you apart because your calling demands purity. You cannot be common and carry the uncommon. You cannot mix with noise and still hear the whisper of heaven. You have been branded by divine purpose. And though the world may not understand, the spirit world does. The apostle reminds us in his letter to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 19, "The Lord knows those who are his." These ancient words burn with relevance. You have been identified by heaven. That identification is not earned by performance, but sealed by grace. You are known, even when forgotten by men. You are recognized in realms unseen, where obedience echoes louder than applause. Chosen one. There is something happening even now. Heaven is activating the mark that's been dormant. You will begin to notice that divine favor follows you, where logic says it shouldn't. Doors will open without explanation. Conversations will align at the perfect moment. Protection will manifest in situations that should have harmed you. That is the mark in motion, the visible evidence of invisible ownership. But understand this, the mark comes with responsibility. The anointing you carry is not decoration, it is a declaration. It declares war on darkness. That's why life has not been easy for you. The attacks were never about your past, they were about your potential. The enemy recognized your mark even before you did. He saw your future impact and tried to destroy you early. Yet every plan failed. Because divine ownership cannot be cancelled. Do not envy those who walk without resistance. Some paths are smooth because they lead nowhere. But your path, though narrow and difficult, leads to eternal significance. Every obstacle is shaping your authority. Every battle you survive increases your spiritual weight. Heaven does not anoint the untested. You were tested because you were trusted. When you wake up in the middle of the night for no reason, it's not random, it's a spiritual nudge. When you sense heaviness before a breakthrough, it's not coincidence, it's a signal. The mark on your life makes you spiritually sensitive because you are part of heaven's surveillance system on earth. You sense what others ignore. You see what others dismiss. That discernment is a weapon. So guard your spirit. Chosen one, do not allow bitterness, jealousy, or fear to contaminate your calling. Protect your purity, your peace, your fire. The mark you carry must remain untarnished. Heaven has placed you as a watchtower for this generation. You are not small, you are strategic. You are not random, you are reserved. If this truth stirs your spirit, take a moment and declare in faith, I am marked. Type those words as a sign of agreement. Not for others to see, but for heaven to witness. Let that comment be your response in the natural realm to what God is awakening in the spiritual. When you type it, you are aligning your confession with your calling, reminding darkness that you know who you are. You have been marked, sealed, and sent. And soon, the world will see what heaven already knows. You were never ordinary. You were chosen. Chosen one. The season of concealment is ending. What was hidden is being uncovered. For too long, you have walked through shadows while others seem to live in light. You have seen people rise without integrity, speak loudly without truth, and shine without oil. And in your quiet heart, you have wondered, when will the real be revealed? Heaven answers now, the unveiling has begun. You have carried purity in a world that rewards performance. You have spoken truth in rooms that prefer lies. You have chosen integrity when compromise looked easier. Those choices did not go unnoticed. Heaven took record of every unseen act of faithfulness. There are pages in eternity written with your obedience moments that no one applauded, but heaven celebrated. And now, the time comes when what has been done in secret will speak in public. For years, you have been misunderstood. People thought your silence meant weakness. Your humility meant insignificance. Your passions meant indifference. But they did not see the fire that burned behind the stillness. They did not know that God had covered you with his hand, not to hide you out of shame, but to protect what was still forming. Seeds cannot grow under spotlight, they grow under soil. Now, however, the soil begins to crack. The darkness that once concealed is giving way to light. You are entering the moment of exposure, not for destruction, but for revelation. The truth about you, about others, about every hidden thing around your calling, will now come to light. It will not be chaotic, it will be precise. Heaven exposes not to shame, but to align, as was spoken through the Gospel of Luke in chapter 8, verse 17. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor anything secret that will not be known and come to light. These words are the heartbeat of this hour. Everything false, everything built on deceit or manipulation, will crumble under the weight of truth, and everything true, everything birthed in prayer, built on faith, and sustained by love, will rise unshaken. You, chosen one, have been prepared for this unveiling. The Spirit has been refining your heart so that when the moment of visibility comes, your character will anchor your elevation. The light that is coming will not expose you, it will reveal you. The difference is subtle but sacred. Exposure reveals flaws, revelation unveils purpose. You are being revealed. When truth comes, it often arrives like lightning, sudden, blinding, impossible to ignore. Some around you will be startled as masks fall and hidden motives surface. Do not fear this. It is heaven cleaning the atmosphere. God will not allow what is false to remain attached to what is chosen. The pruning may hurt, but it is protection. Perhaps you have already felt it. Certain relationships fading, opportunities dissolving, connections that once felt sure suddenly drifting. Do not chase what God removes. When he begins to reveal, he also begins to separate. Every person who cannot walk in the next chapter is being gently unlinked from your path, not out of cruelty, but out of mercy. Not everyone can breathe at your altitude. The unveiling is not just external, it is internal. God is also revealing you to yourself. You are beginning to see your strength, your resilience, your authority in ways you never recognized before. The pain you survived has given you wisdom. The silence you endured has sharpened your discernment. You are no longer who you were when the hidden season began. There will be moments in the coming days when you feel a strange clarity, as if the fog that once clouded your vision has lifted. You will begin to discern motives, sense truth behind smiles, feel the shift before it is visible. That is your spiritual sight awakening. The same light that exposes also illuminates. Be steady in this time. Chosen one, do not rush to announce what heaven is revealing. Let truth unfold at its own pace. The exposure will be undeniable. You will not have to prove anything. What is real stands on its own. The winds of revelation will carry your name into rooms you never entered. Because authenticity always finds its way to light. You have waited long for this. You have prayed, cried, and questioned if the promise would ever come. But the delay was never denial, it was calibration. Heaven needed the right moment, the right conditions, the right maturity in you. Now all align. The unveiling will not just reveal you to the world, it will reveal the world to you. Chosen one. The sound that echoes across the heavens right now is not ordinary wind, it is the trumpet of awakening. You can feel it, can't you? That subtle tremor in your spirit, that stirring in your chest as though something ancient is calling your name. Heaven is summoning you to rise. For too long, your wings have been folded beneath the weight of fear and fatigue. But now the voice of eternity whispers, "Arise." There comes a time when the cocoon must break. When what once protected you begins to confine you. You have outgrown the shell of survival. The darkness that once felt like shelter is now too small for your light. This is your moment to unfold your wings and remember what you carry. You are not dust, you are breath. You are not forgotten, you are formed for such a time as this. Life has tried to convince you that you are too late, too broken, too behind. But God does not measure time the way men do. The years you call wasted, He calls training. The seasons that felt silent were actually sacred hidden rehearsals for public revelation. Heaven is saying, step into the stage of destiny. And as was spoken through the prophet Isaiah in chapter 60, verse 1, arise, shine, for your light has come. These words were not written for someone else. They are a mirror reflecting your very soul. You are not waiting for light. You are the light. You were never meant to hide beneath the weight of yesterday's pain. You were designed to illuminate the path for others still lost in the dark. Look around you. Chosen one. The world groans under confusion, fear, and division. Yet even in this storm, your presence matters. You are heaven's candle in a cave. A single spark that can ignite revival in hearts grown cold. Your voice may feel small, but when spoken in obedience, it carries the weight of eternity. Do not underestimate your light. You've been through too much to remain silent now. You've fought private battles that no one clapped for. But those silent victories have prepared your spirit for leadership in this season. The oil you carry was pressed out through pain, and heaven wastes no oil. Now the same fire that once purified you will begin to shine through you. Think of your soul as a lighthouse standing on the edge of a stormy sea. The waves crash, the wind howls, yet your flame stands unshaken. That's what you are, a signal of hope for others still adrift. When you stand tall, you remind them that survival is possible. When you speak, you release courage. When you shine, you shift atmospheres. But remember, even a lighthouse needs tending. The flame must be refueled. The walls must be cared for. And so does your spirit. Sometimes, that means surrounding yourself with others who carry light, who help you fan your flame instead of dimming it. It means supporting the vessels that keep this divine message burning across the world, because together, our light reaches farther. If this message speaks to your spirit, let your response be an act of light. Share it not for attention, but as a seed. When you share a word that awakens someone else, you become a co-laborer with heaven. Like the ripples of a stone cast into still water, your act of faith will travel farther than you imagine. Someone's breakthrough could begin because you cared enough to pass the flame. And if you feel led, consider pouring back into the well that has refreshed you. Every act of giving, whether through prayer, words, or donation, is a divine exchange. You are not paying for light, you are fueling its reach. Think of it like oil feeding a lamp. without oil. Even the brightest flame dims, but when many hands bring oil, the fire spreads without end. Your generosity, your attention, your participation, they are not small, they are sacred. When you engage with the message, when you comment, when you share, when you support, you are helping heaven's voice echo louder through this generation. You are not just watching, you are partnering. You are part of the movement of awakening. So, Risa now. Brush off the ashes. Let your heart remember what it means to burn again. Heaven has sounded your name in the wind. The trumpet is still echoing across the sky, calling the chosen to stand. Do not silence your spirit's answer. If this message has stirred something within you, if you felt heaven tug on your heart, take a small but meaningful step. Tap like as your silent amen. Share this message as your light extended. Subscribe if you desire to stay within the river of revelation that flows through these words. And if your heart feels drawn, so into the flame that lights countless others. Do it not from pressure, but from purpose. You are rising. Chosen one. The world will soon see what heaven has always known. Chosen one. The air around you feels heavy tonight because you are standing at a divine intersection. Heaven has drawn a line beneath your feet. One side marked calling, the other marked comfort. You cannot stand in both. The time for indecision is over. You can sense it, can't you? That quiet tension inside your spirit, like the pull between two worlds. It is not anxiety, it is the Spirit of God, urging you to move. You are at the spiritual crossroads. Every chosen one reaches this point. It is the moment when heaven watches to see whether you will obey the whisper or return to the noise. You have heard the call before. It came through dreams that lingered too long to ignore, through songs that pierced your heart, through sudden tears when you felt God near. You brushed it aside, telling yourself it was emotion, but it was not. It was eternity knocking. You have been carrying promises that feel too big for your hands. You sense destiny, but you also sense fear. What if you fail? What if you misstep? What if you lose what's familiar? These are the questions that keep many chosen ones frozen at the crossroads. But heaven speaks softly now. Failure is not falling, failure is refusing to move. You will not miss what God ordained if your heart remains surrendered. It was written long ago that the children of Israel stood before mountains of decision, torn between the familiar chains of Egypt and the unknown freedom of promise. Many looked back because bondage felt safer than uncertainty. But the Spirit whispers to you, do not return to Egypt. The comfort of yesterday cannot carry you into the purpose of tomorrow. You have seen too much light to live in darkness again. The road of obedience is not easy. It costs. It may cost your pride, your circle, your plans. But what waits beyond that obedience is far greater than what you will ever lose. God is not calling you to survive. He is calling you to soar. Every command He gives is a doorway to divine increase. Heaven speaks clearly through the writings of Joshua in chapter 24, verse 15. Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. Those words are ancient but alive, resonating through time into your very moment. The choice remains the same: serve fear or serve faith, serve self or serve purpose. Heaven does not force obedience, it invites it. But the invitation expires when delay becomes disobedience. Chosen one, you already know what God has asked of you. It may be to forgive someone who wounded you deeply. It may be to release something you've clung to out of fear. It may be to step into an assignment that feels too heavy for your current strength. Whatever it is, you know it. You've replayed it in your mind for weeks. And now heaven says, do it. Your destiny depends on your response at this very crossroad. Every blessing tied to your name stands on the other side of obedience. The door will not open until your feet move. Do not wait for the storm to calm before you step, and the storm will obey the voice of purpose. The sea parts only for those who walk forward. You may think, but I'm not ready. Listen carefully. You were never meant to be ready. You were meant to be willing. Heaven equips those who move. The oil flows only when the vessel is empty and yielded. The manna falls for those who walk by faith, not those who wait for proof. Do not let fear be your guide. Fear dresses itself in logic, in caution, in the illusion of control. It whispers, not yet. But heaven's timing is now. Every delay has already been redeemed by grace. You are standing on holy ground where hesitation becomes rebellion and obedience becomes freedom. And when you do, the atmosphere will shift. Chains you didn't even realize you were carrying will fall. The confusion that clouded your vision will clear. You will feel a divine weight lift, replaced by peace that cannot be explained. Because obedience always unlocks peace. This moment is not random. This message is not ordinary. Heaven has aligned it with your timeline. Right here, right now. Every delay, every detour, every heartbreak leading here. This is the moment where history turns in your favor. If your spirit bears witness, respond not to me, but to heaven itself. Type 111 below as a prophetic act of surrender. It is more than a number, it's a covenant. It says, I choose alignment over confusion, obedience over comfort, destiny over delay. When you write it, heaven records it. Angles move. The atmosphere shifts. Do not let this moment pass like another message. This is divine timing. Choose your side. Choose your yes. Step into your purpose before the window closes. You are not standing at a dead end. Chosen one. You are standing at a beginning disguised as a decision. Heaven waits for your move. Chosen one. The silence around you has not been empty. It has been a battlefield. You may not have seen the war, but you have felt it. The sudden heaviness without explanation. The nights when your mind became a storm of thoughts. The strange exhaustion that follows after a moment of peace. These are not coincidences. You have been standing in the middle of a silent war. One that rages beyond the reach of human eyes. This war is not fought with swords or bullets. It is fought with whispers, distractions, and weariness. The enemy has studied you, watched your habits, mapped your emotions, and waited for moments of weakness. But what he did not calculate was your resilience. He underestimated the strength that pain has carved into your spirit. Every time he thought you would break, you grew stronger. Every time he planned to silence you, your prayers grew louder. You see, the greatest battles of a chosen one are rarely visible. They take place in the secret corners of the soul. While the world continues as if nothing is wrong, your spirit has been wrestling with unseen forces, fear, doubt, temptation, and despair. You've had to fight for your peace, your purpose, your very identity. You've had to hold on to hope when every voice around you said to let go. That is spiritual warfare in its purest form, not flashy, but fierce. Do you remember those moments when your heart felt too tired to pray? When you wanted to give up and disappear? Even then, heaven stood beside you. Angels surrounded you while you slept, guarding the promise within you. The battle was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to expose what was inside you. You were forged in this war. Every wound became wisdom. Every struggle became strength. The reason your battles have been so intense is because your assignment carries impact. The higher your purpose, the greater the resistance. Darkness does not waste energy attacking the ordinary. It targets the anointed. The enemy knew your potential before you did. And that's why he attacked you early, when you were still unaware of your power. But what he meant for destruction has become your training ground. Think about a soldier preparing for battle. No one trains him in comfort. He is tested in hardship so that when the real fight comes, his reflex is strength. That has been your story. The sleepless nights were not punishment, they were practice. The seasons of loneliness were not rejection, they were preparation for leadership. You were being conditioned for spiritual warfare, and you have grown. You may not see it yet, but you are no longer who you once were. The same attacks that once sent you spiraling now find no entrance. Your discernment is sharper, your passions deeper, your faith stronger. You have been quietly transformed through conflict. The apostle wrote to remind us in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." These words reveal the invisible dimension of your struggle. People were never your real enemies. Circumstances were never random. Everything you've faced has had a spiritual root, a hidden opposition trying to keep you from the fullness of your calling. But here is the truth, that darkness cannot erase. You have already won more than you realize. Victory has not always looked like triumph. Sometimes it has looked like survival. The fact that you are still standing, still believing, still reading these words is proof that your enemy failed. Every breath you take is a declaration that you are not defeated. There is beauty even in the battle. Each scar on your spirit tells a story of endurance, a testimony written in invisible ink. Heaven cherishes warriors who still worship through warfare. When you lifted your hands in the middle of heartbreak, you declared loyalty in the face of chaos. When you chose forgiveness instead of bitterness, you silenced hell with grace. Those moments were not small, they were eternal victories. Chosen one, the war is not over. But you are no longer fighting from a place of fear, you are fighting from a place of authority. You've learned to recognize the enemy's tactics, the sudden discouragement before a breakthrough, the unexpected conflict before a blessing, the wave of doubt, right, when faith is needed most. These are not coincidences. They are counterattacks from a defeated foe. So when the battle feels heavy, remember who fights beside you. You are never alone. The same God who split seas and stilled storms stands with you now. You are surrounded by divine reinforcements, angels that move at the sound of your faith. The silent war has revealed your true identity, a warrior clothed in light, undefeated, unshaken, unstoppable, chosen one. You have reached what heaven calls the threshold, the narrow space between the breaking and the breakthrough. Everything within you feels stretched. like a bow drawn to its final tension before release. You have prayed until words ran out, believed until your faith trembled, and waited so long that waiting itself has become your way of living. And now, this moment feels fragile. It is the breaking point. But hear this clearly. The breaking point is not the end, it is the turning. What feels like collapse is often the moment before expansion. A seed must crack before it grows. Oil only flows after the olive is crushed. Gold shines only after the furnace. You, too, are being refined through pressure. The very things that seem to be breaking you are shaping you for what's next. You have cried out, "God, I can't take any more." Yet even as you whispered that, heaven whispered back, "You're almost there." The pressure is not punishment, it's promotion in disguise. When the caterpillar begins to dissolve in its cocoon, it feels like death. But it is transformation. That is what's happening to you. Everything that no longer serves your future is dissolving. Your patience, your faith, your endurance, they are forming new wings. You are being stretched because your capacity is increasing. You cannot carry the weight of destiny with yesterday's strength. Every delay, every disappointment, every closed door has trained you for this exact threshold. The breaking is proof that expansion is near. The resistance you feel is not rejection, it's the final contraction before birth. Remember, chosen one, God has a pattern. He allows pressure right before promise, silence right before sound, darkness right before dawn. This is divine rhythm. Think back on your life. Every time you thought it was over, something greater emerged. The same will happen now. You are too close to quit. We are reminded through the writings of David in Psalm chapter 126, verse 5. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. These are not poetic words, they are prophetic truth. Your tears are not wasted, they are seeds. Every tear that fell in prayer has watered the soil of your breakthrough. And when harvest comes, it will be greater than you imagined. Because the deeper the pain, the higher the joy. You may not see progress, but heaven measures growth differently. The seed breaks underground long before it appears above the soil. You are breaking through. Even when it feels like breaking down, the invisible shift is already happening. The ground is moving beneath your spirit. You can't see it, but heaven can. You've been faithful in the furnace. You didn't abandon your post when the fire grew hotter. You didn't curse God when silence stretched too long. That faithfulness has built endurance into your soul. Others may see only your calm exterior, but heaven sees the warrior within you, the one who fought storms in silence and still stood. The breaking point is holy. It strips away everything false. It removes the layers you built to survive, exposing your raw, true self, the version of you God can finally use without resistance. When your strength runs out, His begins. When your plans collapse, His purpose unfolds. You are being emptied only to be filled with something greater. Do not mistake fatigue for failure. Tired does not mean defeated. It simply means you've reached the place where grace must take over. The same hands that began your story will finish it. God has not brought you this far to abandon you at the edge. He specializes in last-moment miracles, the kind that arrive when hope feels breathless. Chosen one. There is power in this breaking. You are closer to breakthrough than your feelings can perceive. The warfare intensifies before victory. because the enemy panics. When he realizes you've outlasted his last weapon, he has no new tactics, just louder noise. Do not interpret the chaos as collapse. Interpret it as confirmation that heaven is near. Take a breath. Feel it, the invisible current shifting in your favor. Something within you knows this is not the end. The same God who sustained you yesterday is preparing to reveal why he kept you standing. Every ounce of pain is being translated into power. Every loss is becoming language for your testimony. There will come a day, sooner than you think, when you look back and realize that the breaking did not destroy you, it delivered you. You will understand that what felt like the end was actually the beginning of the new version of you. So, do not curse the breaking, bless it. It is the final key, unlocking your next dimension. The night is darkest just before dawn, and dawn is approaching fast. Chosen one. The air feels different tonight because heaven is speaking with urgency. There are moments when God no longer whispers, he warns. This is one of those moments. You are standing on sacred ground, and what you decide in this season will determine what opens and what closes. There are warnings that come not to frighten you, but to realign you. This is one of them. You have been sensing it already, that quiet conviction in your spirit that will not let you rest. Something inside you knows that God has been calling you higher. Yet you've been hesitant. You've been feeling the pull to leave behind certain habits, certain voices, certain places that no longer carry life. But you've delayed, telling yourself you'll fix it later. Obey when it's convenient. Move when it feels safer. Heaven says, later is running out. Do not mistake God's patience for permission. Mercy is not permission. It is space for repentance. Every chosen one faces this moment, where grace extends its hand one more time and says, return. That's what this message is. It is grace reaching for you before mercy steps back. You are one decision away from clarity, but also one rebellion away from blindness. The longer you linger in compromise, the dimmer your discernment becomes. Light fades not all at once, but slowly, until you realize you've been walking in shadow. Heaven loves you too much to let you stay there. That's why this warning has reached you. As was written in Hebrews chapter 3, verse 15, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Those words echo through eternity, and now they echo in you. The heart that hardens to conviction will one day no longer hear it, but the heart that humbles itself to correction finds life again. God is not trying to scare you, he is trying to save you. There are consequences to ignoring divine warnings. They rarely come as punishment from heaven. They come as natural results of separation. When you drift from his voice, you drift from protection. When you reject his correction, you forfeit direction. The enemy doesn't need to destroy those who ignore God. He only needs to distract them until they drift too far to remember the way home. But it is not too late. The very fact that you are reading this proves that heaven has not given up on you. Grace still breathes your name. The door is still open. You can still turn back. You can still start again. The Spirit of God is not finished with you. The same hands that formed the universe are reaching into your life even now. Not with anger, but with mercy. Do not let shame convince you that you've gone too far. Shame speaks with the voice of accusation, but conviction speaks with the voice of invitation. Shame says, "You're ruined." Conviction says, you can still return. Choose the voice that leads you home. You may not see how serious this moment is, but in heaven's timeline, it is critical. The world is darkening. Distractions are multiplying, and hearts are growing colder. Yet even now, the flame in you still flickers. That flame is your sign. It means grace remains. Protect it. Feed it. Let it burn again. God is not calling you to perfection. He is calling you to surrender. He does not need flawless vessels, only willing ones. If you will simply say, yes, Lord, I hear you, everything can shift. The angels that have stood waiting will move at your word. The confusion will lift. The peace will return, and the path will clear. This is not a time to delay. Heaven is watching for your response. The same love that warned Noah to build, that called Jonah from the storm, that restored Peter after denial, is calling you right now, and you know it, you can feel it. Your heart is racing, not from fear, but from recognition. You are being called home. So, respond in faith, not for appearance, not for ritual, but as a prophetic act of surrender. Type, I return below. Do not underestimate the power of simple obedience. Those 2 words might look small on a screen, but in the spirit realm, they roar like thunder. When you type them, heaven records it as repentance, as covenant, as choice. The enemy loses ground he thought was his. Your destiny reopens. Your clarity returns. This is your divine warning, but also your divine opportunity. Grace is still extended. The light is still burning. The door is still open. Walk through it before the moment passes. Heaven is calling you not to fear, but to freedom. Chosen one. The moment has come for restoration. Heaven is not only healing what was broken, it is restoring what was stolen. You may not realize it yet, but there are spiritual possessions with your name written upon them: peace, favor, confidence, clarity, and divine authority. For a season, these treasures seemed lost. You felt empty, unseen, uncertain. But the wind of restoration has begun to blow. Every scar, every setback, every silent prayer has been collected by heaven as evidence of endurance. You have been weighed in the balance and found faithful. What the enemy snatched in darkness, God is returning in light. He is not giving you back what you lost. He is upgrading what you carried. The return will not resemble the loss. Think of an ancient crown buried under dust. At first glance, état perdu, forgotten, worthless. But once cleaned, the jewels shine brighter than before. That is what God is doing in you. You were never stripped of your worth, only hidden until refinement was complete. Now the King is calling you to take your place again. As it was written in the Gospel of Luke chapter 10, verse 19, Behold, I give you authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, over all the enemy's power, and nothing shall hurt you. Those words are not metaphor, they are mantle. They remind you that you carry authority not as borrowed power, but as birthright. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead now breathes through you. You may have walked through seasons that made you feel powerless, but your authority was never gone. It was only hidden beneath survival. Every hardship has been sharpening your discernment. Every betrayal has been training your wisdom. You were being prepared not to beg, but to rule. The king does not restore servants to comfort. He restores sons and daughters to dominion. Now, chosen one, stand tall. You have been too used to crawling, apologizing for your light, shrinking so others feel comfortable. No more. This is the hour to walk in quiet confidence. Not arrogance, but awareness. Awareness of who sent you, of what you carry, of the fire in your bones. You do not need to prove your worth. Your worth was written before time began. Picture a lamp set upon a mountain. At first, the wind howls and threatens to extinguish it, but the flame endures, shielded by unseen hands. The longer it burns, the brighter it grows, until even those far below see its glow. You are that lamp. The winds that try to snuff you out have only fed your flame, and now, as you rise, remember, light was never meant to hide. It was meant to travel. The truth that has touched your heart today is not for you alone. Somewhere, someone is walking through the same night you survived. Your obedience in sharing can become their sunrise. If this message has stirred your spirit, let your response become an act of light. Tap like as an echo of gratitude to heaven, not for me, but as your way of saying, I receive this restoration. Share this message so it may find another weary soul still believing they've been forgotten. When you share, you become the messenger you once needed. You turn your pain into purpose. And if your heart feels moved beyond words, if you sense the Spirit saying, keep the fire burning, consider sowing into this light. Every word sent forth, every message crafted, is oil poured into lamps across the world. Your act of giving is not payment, it is participation. It is saying, let the flame reach farther. Even the smallest drop of oil keeps the lamp alive through the longest night. Every contribution, every prayer, every gesture of support is part of that oil. Together, we ensure that the light of these messages continues to reach those still walking in silence. You are not just a receiver of the word, you are a carrier of it. So do it not out of pressure, but out of purpose. Let generosity be worship. Let sharing be prophecy. Let your engagement be the echo of heaven's restoration moving through you. Chosen one, restoration is not coming, it has begun. You will see what was once broken stand whole again. You will hold what you thought you'd lost, and the same voice that once whispered, endure, now declares, reign. End of 10. Stand in your mantle. Walk in your authority. Lift your head high, for the crown fits again. Chosen one. The fire you have walked through has not been for nothing. It has been the refining fire of heaven, the kind that purifies, not punishes. There are flames that destroy, and there are flames that define. The ones that surrounded you were not sent to burn you down, but to burn away what could no longer remain. Every trial, every loss, every season of exhaustion has been the forge of your becoming. You may not have recognized it, but even in the midst of your suffering, something holy was happening. While you thought you were losing everything, heaven was removing what could not carry you into the next dimension. The fire stripped away false attachments, shallow beliefs, and fragile strength. What remains now is pure gold faith refined by trial, love strengthened by pain, and purpose anchored in endurance. There is beauty in this kind of fire. It teaches you who you are when everything external disappears. It exposes what is real within you. When the applause stops, when the comfort fades, when the familiar vanishes, what remains is what cannot be shaken. That unshakable core that is the evidence of divine craftsmanship. Do you remember the nights when you questioned if you were being punished? When everything you built seemed to collapse? And you whispered, "God, what did I do wrong?" Heaven heard that prayer. But it did not respond with anger. It responded with revelation. What you perceived as punishment was purification. You were being invited into deeper intimacy, into a depth of faith that comfort could never teach. As it was spoken in Malachi chapter 3, verse 3, "He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver." The image is simple yet profound. A refiner watches over the metal in the fire until he can see his reflection in it. That is what God has been doing with you. He never looked away while the flames rose higher. He never left the room. He watched carefully, waiting for his image to appear in your endurance, in your surrender, in your faith. Fire has a strange way of revealing companionship. It was in the furnace that the 3 Hebrew men discovered they were not alone. It was in their hottest hour that the 4th man appeared. You, too, have discovered God's nearness, not in peace, but in pain. It is in the fire that you have learned to recognize His presence, not as an idea, but as reality. You are no longer the same person who entered the flames. The one who stepped in carried fear, doubt, and self-reliance. The one who steps out carries clarity, strength, and unshakable peace. That is the miracle of refinement. You leave lighter, stronger, and wiser. The world may see only ashes, but heaven sees foundation. Ashes are not the end, they are the beginning. From ashes, the phoenix rises. From dust, man was formed. From brokenness, glory emerges. The fire was never your enemy, it was your midwife. It birthed a version of you that could not exist without it. And perhaps that is why your heart feels different now. You have learned to let go faster, forgive easier, love deeper. You've learned that peace is not the absence of pain, but the presence of purpose. You no longer seek applause because you've met approval in the eyes of your refiner. You walk lighter because you no longer carry what is unnecessary. Sometimes, refinement feels like silence. You prayed and heard nothing. You waited and saw no sign. But silence is not absence, it is focus. A refiner speaks little while the fire burns because his attention is fixed on the metal. God's silence during your trial was not neglect, it was concentration. He was focused on you, ensuring that the heat did not destroy but perfect you. And now, as the flames die down, you stand different. There is a quiet authority in your presence, a stillness that others can feel. You do not need to explain your transformation. It speaks for itself. Those who once doubted your endurance will soon see the glow of refinement upon you. Chosen one, the fire has done its work. It has not left you empty, it has made you eternal. Every ember has written a testimony into your soul. You have become a living altar, proof that pain can be holy, that trials can birth beauty, that the hardest seasons can yield the greatest peace. Do not despise the memory of the flames. Honor them. Thank God for them. Because of them, you can now carry glory without arrogance, power without pride, and influence without compromise. The fire made you trustworthy. Walk forward now, not afraid of what burns, but aware of what builds. You have survived the refining fire, and you shine with the reflection of the one who never left you inside it. Chosen one. The pattern of your days has not been random. Every strange encounter, every repeating number, every unexpected delay has been woven into divine order. You have noticed it, the alignment of moments that feel too precise to be coincidence, a verse that appears twice in a day, a dream that repeats, a timing that feels too perfect to be human planning. Heaven has been speaking to you through patterns. You are in a prophetic alignment. The same hand that shaped galaxies is arranging your steps. You thought you were wandering, but you have been led. Every detour was direction. Every pause was positioning. You were not late. You were synchronized. Heaven has a rhythm, and your life has begun to move in tempo with it. There are seasons when God moves loudly, miracles, breakthroughs, visible shifts. But there are also seasons when He moves quietly, adjusting things in the background, aligning the unseen before revealing the visible. You have been living through that silent alignment. The reason things have felt delayed is because heaven has been rearranging everything to fit perfectly, as was declared by the prophet Habakkuk in chapter 2, verse 2. Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. These ancient words are not about ink and paper, they are about faith and clarity. God has been writing vision into your heart, giving you glimpses of destiny long before the full picture appears. The alignment you sense is His way of saying, it is almost time to run. End of. When God aligns your life, He begins by aligning your spirit. That's why lately you've been drawn toward peace and away from noise. Old habits suddenly feel heavy. Old friendships no longer fit. That discomfort is not rejection, it's redirection. He is tuning your frequency so you can hear His voice clearly. Alignment often feels like loss because the clutter must clear before clarity can come. Chosen one. Even the numbers you've been seeing, those repeating sequences that seem to appear everywhere, are signs of heaven's timing. They are not superstition, they are confirmation. When your eyes and spirit become sensitive to divine order, you begin to notice the fingerprints of God in places others overlook. Those numbers are not accidents, they are timestamps of grace. This is why you must pay attention. Heaven rarely repeats itself without reason. When a message, verse, or thought echoes multiple times in a short span, stop and listen. The Spirit is emphasizing direction. God does not stutter, He confirms. The alignment of signs is His way of saying, look, I am with you. Keep walking. You are on the right path. Oh, but alignment is not only recognition, it is responsibility. Once you realize you are moving with heaven, your steps must reflect that awareness. This means walking carefully, choosing obedience over impulse, purity over popularity. Divine timing is fragile when handled with pride. Stay humble, stay grateful, and you will see the sequence unfold like a divine map. The alignment will soon make sense. Opportunities will converge. Relationships will form effortlessly. Resources will appear at the exact moment of need. You will begin to witness divine efficiency, no wasted time, no unnecessary struggle. What once took years will happen in weeks, because heaven is synchronizing events around your obedience. You may still be in the in-between space where everything feels almost right but not yet complete. That is the tension of divine timing. In that space, trust the rhythm. Trust that heaven's clock never runs slow. God is never late. He is always precise. What he builds in alignment cannot be rushed. Because rushed, blessings crumble under pressure. Chosen one. Remember that alignment always comes after refinement. You have walked through fire, through loss, through silence, and now the reason for it begins to unfold. Everything that once felt broken is being repositioned to form something whole. You are being aligned not only for blessing, but for purpose. The vision in you is about to connect with people, places, and opportunities that fit perfectly. You will find yourself saying, "It feels like I've been here before," because your spirit already walked there in prayer long before your feet did. That familiarity is prophecy fulfilled. Take a moment now to respond in faith, to seal your agreement with heaven's rhythm. Type 222 below as a sign of alignment. It is more than a number, it is a declaration. It says, "I am synchronized with divine timing. I trust the order of heaven." When you write it, imagine the ripple it sends into the unseen. Angels move. Doors unlock. Paths straighten. The chaos begins to quiet because your confession creates order. Alignment is both a process and a proclamation. You align not just by waiting, but by speaking faith into motion. You have waited long enough. Chosen one. Now, heaven's clock strikes in your favor. The alignment has begun. Chosen one. Now that the alignment has begun, heaven begins to unfold the vision. What was once only a faint whisper in your spirit is taking shape before your eyes. You are entering the stage of revelation, the moment when hidden purpose steps out from the shadows and becomes visible. It is not a new calling. It is the unveiling of what has always been written within you. For years, you have sensed that there was something more. You have felt the pull of destiny. Like a melody you could almost remember but could not quite sing. You knew there was purpose buried deep inside. But life's noise made it hard to hear. Now, the noise is fading, and the melody grows clear. Heaven is opening the scroll of your assignment. This is not about worldly success or recognition. It is about divine responsibility. The vision being revealed is not for your comfort, it is for your calling. God is not giving you a platform. He is giving you a mission. You are being positioned as a torchbearer, a vessel of light that leads others through the same darkness you once endured. Everything you've lived through was training for this moment. The heartbreak that taught you compassion, the betrayal that taught you discernment, the loneliness that taught you to listen. All of it was preparing your spirit to carry vision without distortion. Heaven does not release revelation to the unrefined. Only those who have been purified through process can handle the weight of divine vision. There is a difference between ambition and assignment. Ambition seeks spotlight. Assignment seeks impact. Ambition wants applause. Assignment desires obedience. You have been chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. The Spirit searched the earth for a vessel that would not manipulate the message, and it found you. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." This verse is not a compliment, it is a commission. It tells you who you are and reminds you of your responsibility. Light has no choice but to shine. To hide would be to deny its nature. You, chosen one, are being called to stand where others have fallen silent, to speak truth where others compromise, to shine even when it costs comfort. Do not underestimate the impact of your obedience. You may think your voice is small, your influence limited, your reach insignificant, but heaven measures differently. One obedient voice can awaken nations. One spark can ignite 1,000 flames. You are not responsible for how far the light travels. You are responsible for keeping it burning. Vision often comes wrapped in mystery. God rarely gives the full map. He gives a single direction and waits for your step. Every act of obedience unlocks the next instruction. Do not demand clarity. Walk in trust. Faith is not knowing the whole picture. It is moving when God says, go. When the vision unfolds, it may not look like what you expected. Hot often disguises beginnings in simplicity. Moses' rod looked ordinary until it became a serpent. David's sling looked childish until it brought down a giant. What is in your hand may seem small, but when blessed, it will shake the earth. You are about to enter a season where vision will accelerate. Ideas will come faster. Confirmation claire. Opportunities divinely timed. But with vision comes responsibility. Guard it. Not everyone will understand what you carry. Some will mock what they cannot comprehend. Do not argue, simply build. Noah did not debate the critics of the ark. He just kept hammering until the rain proved him right. You will know the vision is real when peace settles even in uncertainty. True revelation brings rest, not striving. It draws you closer to God, not farther away. It magnifies His glory, not your ego. That is how you discern divine vision from personal ambition. Chosen one. You are about to see why the path was so narrow. The vision you carry requires focus. Distraction is the enemy of revelation. Protect your atmosphere. Feed your faith with quiet, with prayer, with scripture. The voice of God grows clearer in stillness. And when doubt whispers, remember this: heaven did not choose you by accident. You were handpicked because you could be trusted with the flame. The world needs your light, your story, your obedience. You have been appointed for impact far beyond your imagination. Chosen one. As the vision within you awakens, the horizon begins to shimmer with movement. What you feel stirring in your spirit is not only personal, it is collective. Others like you are awakening across the world, drawn by the same divine current. Heaven is summoning its warriors, the hidden ones, the misunderstood, the refined. This is the gathering. You have sensed it before, a recognition in the eyes of certain people you've met. A quiet familiarity that words cannot explain. When their spirits brush against yours, it feels like remembering. That is not imagination. That is divine kinship. The chosen ones always find each other when the season shifts. God never calls one person to carry the weight of transformation alone. Every great awakening begins when scattered lights discover they are not alone. You are part of a constellation, each point distinct yet shining toward the same sky. When these lights unite, darkness has no defense. Unity multiplies power in ways single strength never could. Heaven speaks clearly through the words written in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 30. One can chase 1,000, and two put 10,000 to flight. This is not poetry, it is spiritual mathematics. It reveals how divine synergy works. When two chosen ones align under heaven's authority, their impact multiplies exponentially. Imagine what happens when thousands awaken. This gathering is not physical at first, it is spiritual. It begins with recognition, with prayer, with hearts turning toward the same flame. The Spirit is orchestrating connections that human logic cannot arrange. People from different lands, languages, and backgrounds are being drawn together by shared assignment. They may never meet in person, yet their prayers synchronize. They may never speak the same language, yet their faith speaks louder than words. You are one of them, a link in the divine chain, a note in heaven's anthem. You are not just part of a story, you are part of a movement, a holy rebellion against despair, fear, and deception. Together, the chosen ones rise as a living army clothed in light, carrying compassion in one hand and truth in the other. But unity among the chosen requires humility. The same fire that refines individuals also tests the collective. Pride, jealousy, comparison, these are weapons of darkness meant to divide. The enemy knows he cannot defeat the chosen, so he tries to separate them. Do not fall for the illusion of isolation. When you see another carrying light, honor it. When you hear truth in someone else's voice, celebrate it. The victory of one is the victory of all. You may notice that the people heaven connects you with are not always who you expected. Some will appear rough around the edges, unconventional, unpredictable. Do not dismiss them. God often hides power in unlikely vessels. What unites the chosen is not perfection, it is purity of purpose. You will recognize them not by their appearance, but by the fire in their spirit. When the chosen gather, the atmosphere changes. Cities feel different. Conversations carry weight. Dreams intensify. The earth itself responds, because heaven's order begins to manifest through human vessels. You are witnessing the early tremors of this shift even now. The increase of awareness, the hunger for truth, the restlessness in people's souls, all are signs that the gathering has begun. You will find yourself crossing paths with others on similar journeys, some through divine encounters, others through quiet revelations. When you meet them, listen carefully. What they carry may complete what you lack, and what you carry may ignite what they've been waiting for. Iron sharpens iron, flame strengthens flame. Do not fear this merging of light. It does not erase individuality, it amplifies it. A single voice carries a melody, but a chorus shakes nations. When the chosen move in unity, miracles multiply, healing spreads faster, wisdom flows freely, hope becomes contagious. This gathering is not about building empires, it is about building altars. Every connection formed through divine purpose becomes an altar of remembrance, a place where heaven and earth meet. When you pray together, when you speak truth together, when you stand for righteousness together, heaven leans closer. The line between the seen and unseen blurs. Chosen one. Understand this clearly. You were never meant to walk alone. Isolation was never your inheritance. Unity is. The strength you felt fading in solitude will return in community. The vision that seemed too heavy for one will become lighter in the hands of many. The chosen ones are not competitors, they are comrades. The gathering is not coming, it has begun. Invisible threads are weaving you into a tapestry far greater than you can imagine. You may not see all the others yet, but heaven does. From above, your lights are forming, constellations, patterns of hope across the night sky of this generation. So lift your head. You are not a solitary flame flickering in the dark. You are part of a wildfire of light spreading across the earth. And when the chosen ones move together, even the shadows tremble. Chosen one. You can feel it. The world is shifting. The air is thick with separation. Light and shadow no longer blend as they once did. Heaven is drawing the line between those who stand for truth and those who sink into comfort. You have reached what the Spirit calls the final separation. It may not be dramatic in appearance. It begins quietly. One day, you simply notice that your spirit no longer fits where it used to. The jokes that once made you laugh now ache in your heart. The conversations that once entertained you now drain your peace. This is not change for the sake of change. It is heaven's filter. The lukewarm are being sifted from the burning. Do not resist this separation. It is necessary. Just as gold must be purified from dross, your purpose must be refined from mixture. Not everyone who began the journey with you will finish it beside you. Some were meant to awaken you, not accompany you. Others were allowed to test your loyalty, to see whether you would choose popularity or purity. This separation is not punishment, it is promotion. God is elevating you into a realm where compromise cannot survive. You cannot carry yesterday's distractions into tomorrow's assignment. The light you carry demands focus. Heaven is pruning you, not to reduce you, but to multiply your impact. We find truth in Revelation chapter 3, verse 16. Because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. These are not words of cruelty, but of cleansing. Heaven refuses to endorse what pretends to burn without truly burning. Lukewarm faith cannot survive in a time of spiritual fire. You, chosen one, are being set ablaze for authenticity. This season may feel lonely, but it will not last. Isolation is often the birthplace of revelation. When others fall away, the voice of God grows clearer. You will discover that losing the crowd allows you to find the cloud, the divine presence that leads you forward. In that solitude, you will regain your spiritual hearing, your strength, and your authority. Now is the time to stand tall. Let your faith speak louder than your fear. You were not created to blend in, you were designed to blaze. When you live truth out loud, you give permission for others to do the same. The world does not need more noise, it needs more light. Your obedience will always be louder than your explanation. You do not need to justify your devotion. Those meant to understand will recognize it by the glow in your spirit. Those who do not will drift away naturally. Bless them and move forward. Heaven will replace subtraction with multiplication. You may feel the ache of letting go people, habits, or paths that once felt like home. But remember this, a branch that refuses to be pruned will never bear new fruit. Every cut from God's hand is an invitation to greater growth. What feels like loss now will soon reveal itself as expansion. Think of a tree shedding its leaves before winter. It looks barren, even lifeless. But the sap is not gone, it's hidden within, preparing for spring. That is you. What seems stripped away is simply clearing space for the next bloom. And as you rise into this new season, remember, light must travel. You were not chosen to burn silently in the corner of obscurity. You were chosen to shine, to speak, to share. The truth that has healed you may be the exact word that saves another life. If this message has spoken to your heart, let it live beyond this moment. Tap like not as a routine action, but as a declaration that your fire still burns. Share this word so that another weary soul might feel warmth again. You never know who stands on the edge of giving up, waiting for one spark to keep going. If your heart feels stirred to sustain this flow of light, to help keep these messages reaching the corners of the world, consider sowing a seed into the flame, not out of pressure, but out of gratitude. Every act of giving, no matter how small, becomes oil for the lamp. Together, we keep the fire burning through countless nights. And when you comment, do it not for algorithm, but for alignment. Write something from your spirit, perhaps a word, a prayer, or a phrase that marks your stand. You might write, "Still burning." No, say it not for me, but for heaven to see. When you write those words, you are echoing the vow of every chosen one who refuses to fade. It is your declaration that no matter how dark the season, the fire in you remains. Chosen one, the separation is not the end, it is the sign of your refinement. The lukewarm are fading, but the burning ones are rising. You are among them. Let your flame speak. Let your life testify. And let heaven see, through your obedience, that you are still burning. Chosen one. The silence that follows separation is unlike any other. It is not the silence of emptiness, but of preparation. After the pruning comes the rise. After loss, the lift. You are standing in the quiet moment before acceleration, the space where heaven rearranges everything so that divine motion can begin. You may not hear the roar of change yet, but deep beneath the surface, it has already started. This is the rise of glory, the seasons of breaking, waiting, and refining were not isolated events. They were chapters of one long preparation. Heaven has been orchestrating your transformation so that when glory comes, it will not crush you, but carry you. What you once viewed as delay was simply God's way of anchoring you so you could handle speed without losing balance. There is a sacred rhythm to divine elevation. It never bursts suddenly. It unfolds gradually. A sunrise never explodes across the sky. It climbs, warming the horizon inch by inch until everything it touches begins to glow. That is how your rise will come. Steady, sure, unstoppable. You may already sense the shift, the sudden ease where there was once resistance, the unexpected peace where there used to be confusion. Doors that once refused to move are starting to open with little effort. Conversations that once ended in silence now lead to opportunity. It is not luck, it is alignment manifesting into motion. Your name has been whispered in rooms you have never entered. Your obedience has drawn the attention of heaven's timing. God is causing circumstances, people, and provision to converge at the perfect intersection of your readiness. Nothing about this rise is random. Every step has been scripted by grace. We are reminded through the ancient promise in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31, "Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall prevail." These words define your moment. Waiting has built your wings. Endurance has formed your feathers. Faith has prepared your flight. Eagles do not fear storms, they use them. While other birds hide from the wind, eagles stretch their wings, and rise higher through it. Likewise, the very winds that once intimidated you will now lift you. The pressure that tried to break you will become the force that propels you. The rise of glory does not come when the storm ends, it comes when you learn to fly in it. This elevation is not about fame or recognition, it is about assignment. Glory is not applause, it is weight. To carry it requires humility, wisdom, and balance. God is entrusting you with influence that must be handled with purity. The brighter the light, the deeper the roots must grow. That is why He took so long to prepare you, so you would not rise too soon and burn out too fast. You will notice that peace follows you now. The internal restlessness that once drove you has quieted. That is the mark of maturity. You no longer chase outcomes, you trust them. You no longer beg for doors, you walk toward them. Glory changes posture. It does not make you loud, it makes you luminous. People will see something different in you and not know how to name it. That difference is divine. As your steps quicken, stay grounded in gratitude. Gratitude keeps glory from becoming pride. Remember where you came from, the nights when you almost gave up, the days when strength was a miracle. Those memories are not chains, they are anchors that keep you humble. Every blessing you now receive carries the fingerprints of your endurance. And when acceleration comes, it will not announce itself with noise, it will feel like grace. Things that used to take years will unfold effortlessly. Conversations will align at divine moments. Provision will appear exactly when needed. You will realize that the favor of God is not a flood you chase, it is a river you stand in. Chosen one, your rise is not a result of striving, it is a result of surrender. The less you push, the higher you soar. The eagle rises not by flapping harder, but by surrendering to the current. You are now in that current. The winds of heaven are carrying you toward assignments greater than your imagination. Do not fear the altitude. The air may feel thinner, but the view is worth it. You are not leaving others behind. You are blazing the trail. They will follow. Every step you take into glory becomes a map for those who will awaken after you. Lift your eyes. The horizon is expanding. The light is breaking. This is your rise. Steady and sure. The world may call it success, but heaven calls it glory. You are not at the end of your story, you are at the beginning of its radiance. Chosen one. This is the threshold of culmination, the final charge. The moment when all that has been spoken over your life comes to its full circle. You have walked through storms, survived fires, and stood alone on mountains of decision. Every season, every silence, every scar has brought you here. You are standing at the doorway of fulfillment, and heaven is watching for one word from your lips. Yes, the journey behind you was not wasted. It was the blueprint that built your resilience. You have learned to hear God in whispers, to see hope in shadows, to find purpose in pain. The world may call it endurance, but heaven calls it mastery. You have become fluent in faith. At this final stage, you begin to understand that destiny is not a destination, it is a rhythm. It is not a single moment of triumph, but a lifelong posture of obedience. The chosen ones are never finished. They are continually unfolding, layer by layer, glory by glory. You are not at the end of purpose, you are at the beginning of maturity. The tests were never about proving your worth, they were about revealing your nature. The pressure you endured uncovered the warrior within. The silence taught you to listen beyond words. The isolation trained you to carry presence without audience. You have been shaped into someone who can hold the weight of calling without crumbling under it. Now the Spirit whispers again, not with instruction, but with affirmation. You are ready. The delay has expired. The preparation has ended. The appointed time has arrived. The same God who planted the seed in your spirit is now commanding it to bloom. The ancient word recorded in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 12 declares, "Fight the good fight of faith. Take hold of eternal life to which you were called." Those words are not history, they are your present commission. The fight has not been about survival, but about stewardship. You have fought to keep your faith pure, your hope alive, your heart soft. Now, heaven declares that your faith has triumphed. Look back once more, not with regret, but with recognition. Every moment that made you weep has become a well of wisdom. Every betrayal that cut you deeply has carved compassion into your soul. Every closed door has taught you discernment. You are not defined by what you lost. You are defined by what you learned. The pain was the price of revelation. And now, the revelation stands complete. You are not fragile. You are forged. You are not forgotten. You are favored. You are not disqualified. You are delivered. The fire you walked through has become the light that guides others. The chains that once restrained you have become instruments of testimony. What once threatened to silence you now gives your voice authority. Chosen one. Heaven's charge to you is simple yet weighty. Live awake. Do not return to slumber. Do not shrink back into smallness. The hour demands boldness, but not arrogance, gentleness, but not passivity, wisdom, but not fear. The world will grow darker, but that darkness only makes your light more necessary. You will be misunderstood at times. You will be resisted by those who prefer comfort to change. But you were never called to please the crowd. You were called to carry the crown. And a crown is not for decoration, it is for distinction. It marks you as one who rules over chaos, not one ruled by it. Do not fear the responsibility that comes with revelation. You are not walking into it alone. Every step you take into purpose is accompanied by the unseen host of heaven. The same angels who guarded you in weakness will now walk with you in strength. You are surrounded, supported, sustained. The world will begin to see what heaven has always known, that you are a living testimony of divine endurance. People will come to you, drawn by the peace you carry. They will not understand how you survived, and you will tell them not of your strength, but of His. That will be your ministry, to turn your scars into signposts pointing toward grace. Now breathe. Chosen one. This is the stillness before momentum, the calm before expansion. You are not waiting for something to begin. It has already begun within you. The door before you is open, not by force, but by fulfillment. Step through it without hesitation. Leave behind the need for certainty and embrace the flow of trust. Everything you need has already been placed inside you. The voice that led you this far will continue to lead you still. Chosen one. If these words have found a home in your spirit, let them not end here. The story continues through your obedience, through your light, through the quiet choices you make when no one is watching. Heaven has spoken, but now it waits for your echo. If your heart has stirred while reading, if something within you whispered, "This was for me," then let your response become part of the movement. Tap like, not for attention, but as your silent Amen. Share this message so it may travel to another soul who still needs to remember who they are. Every share becomes a spark in the dark, a thread that connects another chosen one back to purpose. Leave a comment below, something true from your heart. Write what this journey has awakened in you. Words have power, and your confession may be the key that unlocks someone else's courage. And if you desire to stay within this flow of anointing, subscribe, not as a follower, but as a guardian of light, a keeper of this flame. Together, we ensure that the message does not fade. You are chosen. You are burning. You are becoming.